welcome to today's program, You and Your Environment. I remain your host, David Olie, and with me today I have Comrade Osawaru Adeni. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Once again, viewers, good morning.
So I have another person who has been in the program also, Comrade Esther Edafenene. You are welcome.
Good morning, Deltas. Good morning, host.
Yeah. So today, let us look at some issues concerning flood matter. This season now is rainy season. And you know, rainy season carries so many disasters here and there. And if care is not taken, you know, some life is also involved. I want to say everybody have to be involved in the matter of environment, because in the past, you know, we don't have this kind of flooding or bad environment, but it's because of activities of human beings. Our activities, you know, resulted in this kind of issue. I want to go to Adeni. Adeni, okay, before I go to Adeni, let me introduce our able guest also, Mr. Larry Eluno. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So, Osawaru, looking at what we are talking about, flood matter, how do you look at flood? What do we mean by flood for the first time? You know, we have rainy season, then we now go again to talk about flooding. So, how do you look at it? What does it make? What does it take?
Thank you very much, moderator. Once again, viewers. When we talk about flooding, we're talking about a situation whereby an environment or a particular place is overtaken by water, flow of water. It could be natural, it could be artificial. But when a place is overtaken by water, as in submerged or with excessive water flow in a particular area, and is now causing mayhem, we see that to be called flooding. And we have different kinds of flooding. We have water flooding, we have landslide flooding too, because when there is a landslide too, the sand also flood the environment too. But now we're talking about the normal flooding that we are all used to in our context, Africa, Nigeria, Delta State, which is water flooding, which is caused as a result of, first of all, maybe poor drain system, and man humanity to man, which is by blocking waterways, overflowing waterways, no proper water or way channel for water to flow. So what we are experiencing in Nigeria most times is as a result of man humanity to man by blocking waterways. Because before now, when the rain falls, he goes down and finds his level. But now, because man have started doing their own development, has now affected the flow of water. And we all know that water must find its way. Water must find its way. And also when it comes to man humanity to man, when we are now trying to reclaim nature back from its original existence, like sand filling now. Sand filling areas that are water prone, originally designed to store water, originally designed to carry water. Then man will go there, sand fill, to say they want to claim land. And we know one thing about water. Water to a particular extent, you can push water to a particular level. But when it reverses back, it goes beyond the level it was before, because you have already tampered with its original habitat. Now he will not try to go further to get a better habitat. For example, now a depth of about 10 feet you have sand-filled it that was occupying water before. Now you have sand-filled it backward. When the water wants to come, that depth of 10 feet will no longer be there. In that case, it will now go beyond that level because there is no depth of 10 feet for him to habitate any longer. So when we're talking about flood, it's as a result of overflowing water, blocking waterways, and most times caused by man and most times caused by nature.
Yeah, Madam Esther, looking at what we're discussing, I'm seeing that some or many villages, you hardly can see flood, flood-prone areas in the villages. But it's in the town, that you majorly see this kind of a thing. That is where development is, being carried out. So why is it like that? Why is it so? I thought the places where development is, being, exhibited is where, flood supposed not to be. But the other way around is what I'm saying. How do you look at it?
You have even finished the matter. That word developing is altering the natural state of the environment.
Okay.
Now you cannot develop a place without tree felling.
Okay.
You fell trees. Trees are one major natural flood control that God made. Where you have a lot of trees, like the village you talked about now.
Yes.
Some villages suffer flood effect as well. But the impact, as you have said, is in the urban. Now, where there are a lot of trees, they serve as wage both for wind and for water.
Okay.
Now, by the time you fell trees like that, you grade everywhere. Now, there is no obstacle
For the
flow of water anymore. The thing will just be going. That is one major reason. Another reason why urban area suffer more impact of flood is that because of development, many natural water courses are built up. So you see a street, for example, especially here in this capital, somewhere that you have been used to as a street, and when rain is falling like this, the natural course will just be going like that, finding its way to the river. All of a sudden, you just see one structure, bam, became a close. A street that you can walk through before suddenly becomes a close. So that's one major reason. Then, of course, they mentioned it, the drainage system. When they make drain, they don't do it for the purpose to have natural gradients to carry water away. The manholes that are meant to be helping to channel water in its volume and push down to the river, they are also blocked. So that's another major reason why you see the urban more prone to flood or the impact of flooding. What about waste? Waste everywhere. Blocking of drains with waste, illegal dumping everywhere. You see one thing with water. Water is so powerful that you can't lock it.
Okay.
When you try to prevent water, maybe water say this is my way, and as it's going, when it gets to the end of this floor, now you find out that something have blocked it. Water will find its way, either going to the left or going to the right. And in a bit of going to the left or to the right, having been altered, it will definitely cause problem somewhere. So you find out that there are different industrialization, commercial activities that are ongoing in the urban area than in the villages.
Okay.
And if you even look at the village, what is causing flood in the village, for example, now, you'll find out that it is also the impact of the activities of man
People living there.
In the urban area, all the refuse that are not being managed in the urban area, some of them wash themselves into the river, plastics into the river. So the water is not being able to accommodate. He was talking about when water is when the place is 10 feet that used to accommodate water containing 10 feet. Now you now went to fill it or fill it with any other thing, maybe debris, and it's not remaining 2 feet. The water will enter 2 feet. That 10 feet capacity, the remaining 8 feet will find its way out. So the river that is meant to accommodate the excess water before is now clouded with sand, waste, that is both garbage waste and plastic waste. All of them are now narrowing that the river, and now rain that the river is supposed to accommodate before, what happens? It gets easily overflow and it finds its way to the rural communities that have most of them close to the river. So this is just so the human activities in the urban area is also what is affecting even the few rural communities that are suffering the flood. So much as development is good, industrialization is good, it should be done with proper planning. It should be done with proper planning such that it doesn't have to create problem. Because when you try to wage water, it try to react. And the reaction of water is always disastrous.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Mr. Lorry, how do you look at what we are discussing? Because I know quite well that you know, as an engineer, you know what we talk about development and extension. So how do you look at what we are discussing about the flood matter?
Thank you. I must say that this topic is very timely.
Okay.
Because we have entered the rainy season. And you can see some places when you drive around town, you see some flooding here and there. I want to say that one of the reasons that we have such serious flooding is lack of planning.
Okay.
Lack of developmental planning. We used to have these urban development agencies.
Yeah. Okay.
And
It's
the
not
way
a ministry.
it's not a ministry.
No,
The way it happens in developed countries or Western world is that for every city there is a plan.
okay.
There's a standard plan. I don't think that Asaba, as state capital, has a plan,
Okay.
as it were. I don't think so. And even if the town has been existing before it was made a state capital, as at the time it was now made a state capital, there must be a proper planning.
There's a replan.
Yes.
Okay.
There will be a proper redesign because it's now being used for a different purpose.
Okay, yes.
And when you have a plan, a standard plan of a city, of a place,
Yeah.
the other thing is to make sure that the plan is properly adhered to.
Okay, yes.
Because just like what she was saying, you know, normal roads, for instance, in Asaba, because that is where we reside now. Normal roads, you find out somebody will just wake up overnight and block an existing. Even sometimes government do the same thing.
Okay.
There is this police station in GRA.
Okay, yes.
GRA here.
Yes, GRA police station.
It's at the center of an existing road.
You see?
And it's so unfortunate, by the time, anytime you go there, just take a look. It's an existing road. Suddenly,
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know the kind of, arrangement that was made there. You block intentionally an existing road.
From the other side.
They created a problem so much so that even the drainage itself
Yes.
was blocked. So the water circulation in that very place, when I went to that place and I saw what they did in that place, I mean, they are already creating a problem there. That is a very critical example. In other places, you will find a similar thing.
Similar.
Happening. When I was growing up in town, there used to be some roads that were recognized and known in the town. Today, most of them,
I've been taking a
and even some of them that are still existing, maybe the construction of fence and walls have actually reduced
The width.
the width of the road. Sometimes you find out a road that used to take about 3 vehicles at the same time cannot even accommodate 2 at a time.
Yes.
Even if 2 vehicles are, using one road, what about the pedestrian? People that are walking, they can't.
Yes.
There are a lot of roads I can mention in Asaba here. Why? It's because of lack of planning and implementation.
Okay.
Because if they are able to have a proper plan, a design of a city, anytime somebody wants to do a thing or wants to build a structure, you should be able to ensure that the planning or the structure is in tandem with the existing plan. Anything outside that is regarded as illegal structure and should be treated as such.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, people that are doing these very things are people who have people where it matters.
That's another
People who have people where
It matters. So much so that when they do all these things, you find out that the appropriate authorities that are supposed to do something about it, they become handicapped.
Yes.
And not only that, sometimes those people even they liaise with some agencies that are in charge to approve illegal structures. At the end of the day, there is complete mayhem. There is complete kind of confusion everywhere caused by flooding. So I think, if actually they have to look into redesigning Asaba to befit a state capital, having a proper plan and the agencies responsible knowing what they are doing and being able to monitor, being able to at least control what goes on in town, we will have less of these problems that we have on hand today.
Yeah. You see, like what you have said, in Ibuzo Road, for existence, for example, there is a deep, drainage that used to be in existence those days. There are very deep that takes water from that Ibuzo Road down to the river. But today, everything has been blocked. You understand? And today, if you go to, this rainy season now, I think last week, in fact, you can't pass there. Vehicles were reversing back because the height of the floor was too high.
Wow.
You understand?
Yes.
You can't pass with a vehicle. So you look at the people who even forced themselves to pass, they were parking, they parked them on the way. Understand? So, Salvador, what do we do in this? Because we are using Asabana as an example, because this is our state capital. But do you know what happened in Lagos? That one was hell.
Yes.
You understand? Even vehicles were carried away. Still houses were, everything. You can imagine. So I wonder what Kogi people are facing now, because I don't know. Or maybe they have taken care of that. If not, last year it was hell. So how do you look at it?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say whatever that is happening in Lagos is humanity to man.
Okay.
It's not as a result of whether the rain is falling. It's as a result of man activity to the earth. That is what is ravaging Lekki. It's only Lekki. It's Lekki now. That's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying.
River.
It's man's activity.
Lekki as a whole is a river.
Even the Lagos we're talking about.
Flame.
Yes. So even the Lagos we're talking about, there are still some places in Lagos that are free from this flood issue we are talking about. Why? Because, like he said, there was a proper design for those places. If at all those people are not experiencing flooding, it's as a result of man blockage, fence, like what Madam said, blocking of normal planning. Like what my engineer here said, he said Asaba does not have a plan. But I want to let you know that I happened to stumble into the plan that was done by architect.
It's not being followed.
Architect, what's his name? Ibru.
Okay.
Architect Ibru, when he was the governor of then Delta State. He brought out a master plan for Asaba. You see where you have DBS now, was planned to carry only government agencies.
Okay.
And that is why you have Pointer here now.
Yes.
You didn't ask how come Pointer was here. And Pointer office is at opposite stadium.
Yes.
Then you had a space here.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they are taking it over.
No, that is it, because the architect himself came, like what he said, he's an engineer. That when a place has been acquired, it changes his original look to the present acquisition proposed look. And that is what Asaba was supposed to be. But fortunately, people that know people who matters, I'm using his word now, people who know people who matters, came and said, this plan will not work like this, and started encroaching. It is that encroachment now.
Plan.
It is that encroachment into the original plan that would have channeled this flood to the various areas that is now causing the flood that we are passing through today. Because you just asked me, what is the way forward? The way forward is for us. The deed has been done. It's for us to go back to that original drainage and work on them. The ones that are still salvageable. Some of them are no longer salvageable because structures have really come upon it that there's nothing or more you can do. But the ones that are still salvageable, government should go back there, salvage it, and link these new ones that they are creating to it. You just talk about Iguzo Junction. If you go to Iguzo Junction by NABC Road, that drainage is more than 20 feet. That is the drainage that takes all the water from Umugbe, Umuezei, all those villages. It takes those water down because development of Asaba, with my study and inquiry, was what's it called? Ezene. Was Ezene. So these places were villages then. They were villages. Ezene was a place for development and every other thing. So when the government of the day then came, they now saw that development is expanding to this way. Let's start doing the drainage. And that was why they had to really face those villages very well and do good drainage, because those people were the inhabitants of the place. And what did they needed to do? They needed to give a facelift to the inhabitants of Asaba by putting good drainage structures and everything for them. Good roads. Some of the road of that time is still what we still have in those Umaji and all those areas. Those roads of them, because they needed to befit those places. It's like a CSRO to the inhabitants of Asaba by giving them good environment. So those places need to be visited. Do a good drain, desilt regularly, do the right thing at the right time. The urban and the regional planning, they should do their work. We are busy destroying houses at 74. We are busy destroying houses at 74. Is it the house that they are destroying that is stopping the waterway? If you see that the structure, your people have failed. If I have failed for something, it's for me to find a way to remedy it and not to cause somebody pain and tears. Because that is what is happening in 74. And the flood is not coming from 74 because the water in 74, originally it has been designed to find its way. The water causing flood is the water in the highbrow area in the GRA. That's where we are having the issue. Like the rain you said, everywhere was flooded. We have had a flood issue in this town that even the government house himself was flooded. You just showed us a clip of Summit Road Secretariat. It was flooded that it took over all offices and files and documents were damaged. A place that is high. That place is high. Summit Road is a high topography road. But the flood ravaged it so much that he had to climb far. Like what Madam said, water can always find its way. Water moves. Nobody can hold water down when it's ready to move. And what is happening now, we need to wake up. It's a clarion call for everybody. Sir, moderator, as I talk to you, this is just a piece of the iceberg. Because now even the water level has not started rising. And we're experiencing this. When the water level starts rising, like what we used to get on the express, where Oko will be submerged. We've not gotten to that level yet, and look at what we're experiencing. What if we not get to that level? What will happen? That means we carry even the skyscrapers who thinks he's building his house on a skyscraper. Because the water level has not started coming up. We can see past Oko, we can see Oko dried. But when that water level comes up, it rises up. So what happened? So there is a lot for us to do. In fact, we need to start preparation. But unfortunately, we're in a country whereby we don't prepare for anything. We always wait for it to come and do fire brigade. After the fire brigade and God rescue us, we go back to sleep and don't see how we can tackle this issue for further occurrences. So, Mr. Moderator, on this note, I want to beg the agencies who are saddled to ensure that flood and life and properties are secured.
A committee
You see, we are good at setting up committee. Committee is empowerment. Sir, as a environmental custodian, by anchoring this program, you can be called for a committee. And when you come to the committee, you will talk. And anytime you sit, they will give you your envelope.
Okay.
When they give you your envelope, if they do them, they not do them, it not concern you again. It's not by setting up a committee. It's by bringing a square peg in a square hole. Bringing the people who are saddled to this responsibility. Bring in engineers. Bring in professionals. Look at the drainage, the storm drain. Lovely one Okowa did. To the grace of God, it has been able to secure us to a reasonable percentage. Now, lack of maintenance now is not taking us back to the original level that it was before the storm drain came. Lack of maintenance is also one problem that we are passing through in this country, Nigeria. Somebody told me that he has been in Abuja for 15 years. He has never experienced flood. That now he's experiencing flood in Abuja. How can a rocky area be experiencing flood?
Yes.
He's a pastor. He's a very senior pastor in Abuja. He said, I've been in Abuja for 15 years. I have not ever experienced flood. But in this past week, that flood is ravaging. So are you telling me now flood is not attacking people that stays on the mountain? Because Abuja is a hilltop area. They are being ravaged by flood. Talk less of those people who are now on the valley area, like Kogi, all those areas. So what will happen to them? If we are not careful, a time will come, Kogi will be submerged. Lagos will be submerged to water life, where nothing can exist any longer there. So I think government needs to wake up. And I know there are so much on our plate. There's so much on the government's plate. But one thing they should know, let everybody that is responsible for a particular assignment take his assignment seriously.
Yes.
Take your assignment seriously. And that is where we are now. Not holding seminar, holding committee meeting, we are doing this one. Now we know that flood is coming. We have not started preparing for IDP. We have not started preparing for IDP because we know that people will be displaced. Mama was talking about those people in the villages. You know why they are not experiencing rain flood now? Like she said, trees are still there. I went to Olushonola yesterday. I saw that estate valuers, they are still causing problem. And who is giving estate valuers license to come and sell land and come and buy land? Is it not the government that is licensing them? I went to Oluchonona. All the big trees that are there, estate valuers has gone there to grade it, open it. Nobody is building there. Development has not gotten to the area. You have killed all the secured, natural secured elements of flood. Now flood is now affecting some villages now in Oluchonona. Yesterday we were there. We could see the erosional flood with sand sludge on the road. And this was what they were not experiencing before. Why? Because estate valuer. So government, like you said, what do we need to do? Government needs to checkmate this estate valuer. You can't just come and acquire a massive land that is also displacing farmers. See, it is called man inhumanity to man. We think we are doing good, but we are doing more evil. Now farmers are not displaced. They can't go to farm because the thick forest farming has been taken over by herdsmen. So those close by lands that they can, take advantage of, estate valuers has gone there, taking the land. Some are even fencing acres. Nothing is happening inside. If you see the big trees that have been fall there, now madam said it, those trees were measured. So government, like you said, should look into this estate valuer business, because I tell you, sir, at the end time we come, we will not have a road to pass. You see, these are big jeep. It will be submerged. After all, you see the ones that were submerged.
Yes.
I saw a car of 300 million submerged in Lekki. 300 million submerged, and it's electrical. So that one don't finish. If there is nothing you can do unless you want to take it back to the country. 300 million vehicles submerged. I saw it. So what happened? Is that not waste? You buy a car of 300 million, water has come to take it over. You have a house of over how many billions? You can't live in it. All of them have run to stay in a hotel. Is that not madness? So, Mr. Moderator, I don't know. It's just so painful that I pray the years that somebody should tell somebody. It is hard time everybody started for this responsibility should wake up. Government should ensure that everybody are doing their job. Because, sir, I'm not predicting doom. But they say stone wey person see, not the blind am. I'm not predicting doom. Sir, the rains have not started. Look at we that are PSP. We cannot access the dump any longer. The rain that fell yesterday, now no vehicle can enter. Even the payloader that used to go there, he too this morning complained. There is no access road to go and dump waste. Now, trucks that carried waste since on Saturday, they did not work on Sunday, thinking they will offload yesterday, Monday. As I talk to you now, so they have not been able to offload. So the trucks are still carrying waste now for 3 days. And look at the kind of rain that fell yesterday. We were thinking, okay, the small sun that dried yesterday, if it falls today, at least the road will be accessible a little. So the issue of flood is beyond just little one we are seeing it now. It's going to go beyond that level. We're talking about cholera now. Yes, the flood now, it's a transporter of cholera. The flood now is a transporter of cholera. A lot of people will fall sick and they're already falling sick. Yes. The flood now is causing hunger because people can't go to farm. Crops are perishing. Yes. They are not maturing well. So many factors are, woven around this flood issue. And government need to wake up, sir. They need to really wake up. Because hardship, when there is no food, people will get hungry. And the hardship is also playing a role to the advance of cholera because people are not seeing good food now to eat. GMO is everywhere. This genetic modified food is what everybody is eating now. We are scared of cancer. And all is surrounded. See, one thing I've got to understand, God is too much. When you try to do things this way, there's a ripple effect on this other way. That's God for you. So when you think you are trying to do so many things, I'm telling you, you can't cheat nature. So please, everybody, see, it's an advocacy time. Like I said, I'm not predicting doom. A lot of waste will be in circulation. The one where they talk say PSP not the work. Make them they hear me as I they talk. PSP not the work. PSP not the work. It is not the PSP fault. We don't have access to go and dump refuse. My truck has been carrying waste since on Sunday. Me that is a pastor, I had to engage my workers to go and work on Sunday to clear refuse from people's house because they are complaining that their waste is littered. My workers need to go to work on Sunday, thinking yesterday I will offload the waste. I could not access the dump. Now the waste is in my truck. My truck is now perishing too because of those chemicals.
Yes.
It's affecting my truck too. Then tomorrow you will come on there and tell me that you PSP, you are not working. How do you want me to work when in natural nature a effect is affecting me too in terms of flooding, no access road to dump my waste? So please tell your viewers.
Thank you so much, Madam Esther. You see, these things are just like that. And I look at Asaba within this week, and I saw that they are, deceasing the drainages somehow. But the things they deceit is not being evacuated. And you are in the environment, you are from the local government. What are you people doing for now to ensure that these things are being, regulated?
Thank you very, very much. The issue of flood control starts from the federal to the state to the local government, to communities and to individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Since development, I'm not forgetting what you are saying. I will talk on our own.
Yes.
Since development is taking many places, the federal government needs to do river dredging to allow for more water intake of our water bodies.
Yes.
They need to be functional dam. Dam in different places. Excuse me. And land too. I learned. I've not gone. I don't know the source. That Nigeria is supplying electricity through KG Dam to other neighboring countries. Okay? Now, if that is possible, Why not try to construct other dam like in Kogi and this Niger Delta area?
A lot of water.
To accumulate most of this water that development is making it to come upon us the more. Why don't we do that? That's for federal government. Now the state government, they said in my language that twice water causes cold. If rain beats you once, and before your body can dry up, another one beats you, it will give you cold.
Yes.
It's a parable in my language. Now, Delta State is always flash
On flood.
as one of the states to be ravaged by flood.
Flood, yes.
Every year, excuse me, a proactive government, I'm sorry, sirs, a proactive government should know what to do every year. By now, we shouldn't be talking about no access road to the dump site. It is enough that management of waste is not going on in that place. They only do waste transfer, accumulating waste there, creating an enabling environment for rodents, flies, and mosquitoes that are good vectors of diseases that kills Nigerians and of course drain our purses. Do you know how much it costs to treat malaria and typhoid in this difficult time of hunger?
15,000.
For you to treat effectively malaria and typhoid, and now there is a training ground for them in our dump site, free of charge, mosquito, ash, and then they leave there to go and eat. Rodent sucker, Lassa fever, it has not gone away, it's still there. So by now, it's enough that we are not carrying out management of refuse in that place, only accumulating refuse. Then not to talk of there is no road. The state government should have by now, since it is every year occurrence. I am not predicting doom as Comrade Adeni say. Next year we'll still be here if Jesus tarries. We'll still be here to talk about dump site that is not accessible. What stop the government from doing a road with capacity to resist the weather, any season, vehicle can access that place? What's stopping? No, it's only lip service. The state government by now ought to have put in place internally displaced IDP camps all over the places. But up to now, even though Nimet, Abish, Shouting, Delta State is one of the prone states to flood, and we saw what happened in Lagos, that what happened to Lagos can also happen here in Delta State. It has happened before. It's not a news. Severally it has happened before. Lives have been wasted, buildings have been collapsed. What stopped the state government by now to make sure that IDP camps are ready? Now you talk about committee. Who are the members of this committee? When you take anything environment and sanitation, I keep on saying it up to time, and I will keep saying it, for a means of political settlement, problem will continue to abide. We set up committee when the problem have already started. What have they achieved? How many environmental health officers are in that committee?
How many engineers?
How many PSPs are in that committee? So these are the issues we are talking about. So the state government as well should, the engineer talks about planning. There's a plan on paper, but what is on ground is zero. Nothing is happening. Even you see the big men, that the people, I keep on saying it, no poor man will go and block a street. It is a big man that when you get there, I have gone to investigate one complaint at Bosak area. And the man told me, say, officer, not waste your time. These people don't come, these people don't come, these people don't come. Nothing can happen to this building. And as I speak, the building is still there. And even a blind man that is seeing partially, we know that this place is blocking a natural water course. Nothing is happening. So if we wake up to say that we want to enjoy this environment that God gives to us, we will know from the government. Now talking about the local government. The local government, last sanitation that did not hold. We use it to do drainage. You know, there are some drainages that the local government decide. There are some that the state does. Now the in between streets of TLA, they work in that area so that the water that normally flowed the back of Asabana that leads to the government, to local government office, and then those surrounding. That was the place they work. They work and they carted away the sand. One of the trip was used to go and survey a place in my office that water normally accumulates. Now the local government can do little. More also when, thank God, the politicians also come and take over. More also when the politicians are not around. But with the new resources, they are still doing a little. But I'm saying that even the city is not enough. You see all those manholes that you talk about at Ibuzo, they should go and work on them. It's a major something.
They should open it.
Open it up. That Camp 74 river, Hawa River.
Yes.
The state government can do a little drainage to clear away debris around that area, so that these manholes that have capacity to collect water and the drainage are open, so that all these other small ones that leak to houses, when you just start it, you cannot see where to flow to. So it's all round responsibility. Now talking about the individuals, you that is hearing our voices, listen. You are doing yourself a harm by saying that your PSP have not come to cut away your refuse, and the best way to dispose the refuse is to go and put it in the drainage. When rain is falling, nobody can catch you there. You enter into the rain and you dump your refuse inside the drainage. You are a wicked person. Stop it. You that drive your fine car and you drive to a lonely place like a bush path, you look here and there are nobody there. You come down from your vehicle on the highway, you dump your refuse. You are a wicked person. You see that thing you call that you are a Christian, you are not a Christian. You are a worse than an infidel. So take a personal decision that if anybody refuse will be seen inside the drainage, it is not my own. It is not my own. As long as the PSP are struggling to still work, do your best. I'm suffering the effect of PSP myself. I'm suffering it. But that will never make me to go and carry refuse to go and put inside the drainage. So while we are talking about government, as individuals, as families, as communities, let us try as much as possible. Perishable ones, bury them from sight. Those that are recyclable, keep accumulating them until the dry season will come again. But most importantly, let this be the last season when we talk about the dump site is inaccessible. I've heard on the radio when an announcement was being made that Capital Development Agency, Capital Territory Development Agency, they will start mounting surveillance of night hours. Whenever anybody is violating environmental sanitation laws, they will apprehend. And that was what interests me most. They are going to acquire a new dump site for the state capital. I'm praying that works out. When the dump site is being made, let there be a measure of proper waste management, proper accessibility to the place, accessible roads to the place. So it's not just about local government. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's great responsibility with a very small one coming to the local government, because till tomorrow the local government has not got its autonomy.
So
thank you very much,
Mr. Larry. You know this interchange at Coca Junction. Yesterday I saw waste management going there to clear. If you see the waste accumulated around that, both top and down, how do you look at that kind of character of human being? Because those things are going to, when the rain falls, it's going to bring them down, and the ones at the dam will now be flood to the drains. How do you look at it?
Well, thank you very much for that question. I want to say that, number one, the issue of cleanliness of environment is everybody's business.
Okay.
Number two, we keep saying is lack of awareness. Number three is our inability to implement certain policies, certain rules that we have made. And we're talking about desilting the drainages and every other thing. I think it should be a continuous thing. We don't have to wait for the rainy season to come before we do that.
That's another thing.
It has to be a continuous thing. And to that extent, I would want a situation whereby there is a partnership of local government and the traditional institutions.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is that I remember when we were growing up, there is this set of youths
Yes.
that are saddled with the responsibility of cleaning up
The environment.
environment and villages.
Okay.
The local name for them is the Okulagwes.
Okay. Do you think they're still existing?
They are existing. They are existing is just that these days, they are not as serious as they used to be those days. Why? Because the traditional institutions that we had those days are gradually being out of sight. So we had a structure then. I remember at the time, I was part of them.
Okay.
When you get to the age of 18, you are somehow engrafted into that group.
Oh, yes.
And what they do is that twice in a month, as the case may be,
Yes.
we will have our town crier go around to announce that there will
Everybody
be
should come
a sanitation. And that everybody, the Okulagwes, should come out to work.
Yes.
Now, they have a way of checkmating those who do not come out.
Yes. True.
Because, it's a village. You know everybody. You know those who are involved, who are part of the, So, they make sure that after work, every Saturday,
Yes.
maybe 2 times in a month, after work, they go from house to house. They know the people that didn't come out for the work. They go and
Apprehended.
not only, no, they don't apprehend them. They go to the family of such people. They catch fowl, chicken.
Yes.
Yes, they catch fowl, chicken from those families. Maybe at the end of those people that worked, they will go and roast the chicken and have a very good breakfast
Like
that
a
day.
traditional fire.
Then the owners of the chicken will hold you responsible that didn't come out.
Yes.
So
They will tell you the person.
thank you.
Yeah.
They will tell you when they come to your family. They tell you we are coming to catch this fowl because of so person. So the person has to pay for it. If you know you don't have money to pay for it, you must make sure you come out.
But do you think it will work?
No, it will. All we need to do is to work with the traditional institutions to modify it.
Okay.
Now we have WhatsApp platform. Those people don't need a town crier to go around again.
Yes.
Or village crier, whatever. What you need to do is just make sure that everybody is on that platform. Any day you need to go out for work, you just place it on the platform and make some calls. You understand me?
Yeah.
And not only that, what I'm saying about local government partnering with each of these villages have leaders.
Yes. Yes.
You can give them some incentives. Because, these people, they are youths. They have the strength. They are our workforce. They have the strength. And a lot of them are wasting away.
Yes.
We can find a way to modify it, give them some incentives, and that will make them come out.
Engage them.
In a village where you have about 30 something to 50 youths coming out, I want you to imagine what they will do. There is no amount you pay. The local government will pay laborers in a month that can effectively cover all those. And also they have ways of monitoring, and what our councillors
But
doing.
I think the local government authorities should also be put in the note too.
That's what I'm talking. The councillors, what are they really doing in their wards?
Another thing.
They should give them responsibility of monitoring some of these things, making sure that they are properly implemented, working with the leaders of some, there are a lot of things that can be done. This structure is already on ground. It's just for the local government to have a working understanding with the traditional institutions, through the local government chairman and through the councillors, they get involved, they get connected to the local chiefs and so on and so forth. Some things can be done. Asaba can be cleaner than it is today. We don't have to wait for the rainy season. We don't have to wait to work. If we do that every other time, by the time the rainy season comes, you find out that everywhere is clean and the drainages are already clean, ready for the water to flow and take its natural course.
Thank you so much, Mr. Larry. We have exhausted our own time here, and that is how it used to be. And I want to thank Mr. Larry Nuno for coming to this program.
Thank you very much.
Educative. And Sawaru, I think I should not forget the other one. Should I say only you are from the same place. So your own is Adeni, not the radio. So you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Madam Esther Dafinene, you are welcome. Thank you so much.
Our technocrat.
Yes.
Our technocrat. The law. They will not see the effect of the law.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
I remain your host, Gilbert Olio. We'll come back next week for a good one again. We are only advising you to take note of what we are talking about. It will affect you, not the government. So take note. Thank you so much. God bless.